Hey, Coden family. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I'm talking to Donna Dabbs today, who is the executive director of GCUFF, which is the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Fest. Donna, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Yes, yes. I wanted to talk to you. Donna and I have been very good friends for a long time. I used to sit on the board of GCUFF before I kind of started my own nonprofit. And the reason I wanted to have you on today is because this is the 15th anniversary of GCUFF. That's a big deal, Donna.
Yes, so exciting. It's hard to
So,
believe we've managed to get through 15 years. Yes.
yes, yes. So, for those who don't know, GCUFF is a film festival specifically for African American or Afrocentric films, right? So, you guys do films by Black directors, Black producers around the world, and it comes to Cleveland. And remind me, this year GCUFF starts when?
September 17th and runs through the 25th.
Wow, wow. So it starts the 17th, runs through the 25th. So that means that people can get 1 day pass, a pass for the entire thing. How does that work?
Yeah, we have a pass if everybody wants to have the entire experience, they can buy the VIP pass. If they just want to catch a film on the weekend, we have day passes and then we have individual tickets for screening.
Okay. All right. So this is for people who want to support us, right? Nobody's coming to save us. This is for us by us. Are you the co-founder?
Yes, but
Yes.
15
So
years
tell
ago.
me,
It was an idea. Yeah.
okay. So how did this idea turn into 15 years, Donna?
Well, Brad, we were doing a lot of things on the scene to bring our community together, a lot of networking events. We did those for 15 years because it started with, we need to get to know each other so we can do business together and things like that. So out of that came, well, what's next? After 15 years of getting to know the community, making things happen, it's like, well, else can we do? And then I was inspired when I went to the Cleveland International Film Festival, had a great time, saw a great movie, saw lots of people, but didn't see many people, many Black people in the audience. So I was challenged to do my own. So I grew up at a time when we had our own neighborhoods, own stores, own everything's, right? You had this sort of insulated community that took care of itself. So, that being my upbringing, it's like, okay, we can do a film festival. Then
Right.
we, found others across the country and just emulated those.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. One of the things about being in Northeast Ohio is such a rich environment for stuff, activities, festivals, galas, concerts, parties,
Yeah.
sports. I mean, and I know that the G Cuff weekend, that beginning Thursday through the 25th, like you said, it's a fantastic thing because you guys bring films from all over the country. How do you vet films? How do you make a decision on what goes what night?
Well, we have a whole process of a call for films, which starts in February, a selection committee, which is 50 members plus, a programming director that helps guide the team through watching the films and rating the films. So things are scored and selected. And then there comes a programming. We also watch other content that's making its way across the country and other film festivals because we're a smaller festival. Everybody doesn't know about it. So we also have to go out and invite filmmakers to submit their film. And then we watch, the big ones, the Sundances, the South by Southwest, the
Right,
SIFs, all of those. We watch those to
right.
see, well, what content can we get to add to our festival? So we have the best lineup we can possibly deliver every year.
Yeah, I'm always delighted because your opening night and closing night has just always been fun. And I'm not saying the other nights are not important, but I got a chance to watch the Luther Vandross documentary last year. It was just, or maybe a couple years. It was just fantastic. It was so good, and I got a chance to see it by coming to the closing night. And then I've had a chance to see Michael J. White, and I know that you've had other incredible opening night acts or filmmakers and actors come into town. Who do you have, or can you announce yet who you have coming for your film fest starting next month?
Yes, opening night. It's a special night. We have James Pickens Jr., who's going to grace us from Grey's Anatomy. He has a short film that we're going to exhibit opening night, and he's going to join us. So we have a chance to have a fireside chat with him about his film and about his career. then we're gonna watch the film. You know, it's always a party opening night. Opening night, my
Yes, it is.
favorite
Yes,
night,
it
right?
is. Yes,
Good
yes.
networking, especially at Kiramu House, which I also love. So good networking, good film, good times, and a party afterwards. So it's the
Listen,
best
I'm just gonna go
best
ahead
ticket
and
to buy.
say, Karamu House has some of the best food. Um, the film fest is amazing, but when I get to eat at the Karamu House, I don't know, is that inside catering or outside catering?
No, actually, it's Pearl's Flower Catering. They've been our caterer for the past 4 or 5 years, and we love it because it's rich soul food,
Oh
and
man,
you
can we
you
just
won't
let's
you
just
won't be
give them a
hungry.
shout out, Donna. Give them a shout out.
Yes, yes, Pearl's Flower Catering, which now are located in the 660. It's on, Carnegie and Midtown corridor. Yes, so you can
Okay,
stop by there and grab some cuisine, but if not, you can come to opening night and taste their food too.
okay, okay. So let's go over that one more time. Karamu House opening
September
night,
17th, opening night.
September
The film is
17th.
Albert's Flower with James Pickens Jr. and the distinguished Peter Lawson Jones, GCUFF longtime fan and member, is going to do the talkback with
That
James
is
Pickens.
beautiful. Yes, we've had James Pickens on the cover. We recently had him in a magazine because he beat cancer. So we kind of rekindled and talked to him.
Mm,
Peter Lawson's been a good friend for a long time of Codem. So you got good company.
yes.
Um, and I'm excited for you guys because 15 years, Donna, 15 years. Did you ever
Yeah.
think you would be doing this for 15 years?
I think I would be doing it for 15 years. However, the intent was to start another Black arts organization that had some longevity. I mean, I was at Kiramu, was on the Kiramu board, for a number of years, and my interest has always been in art. And I just don't see enough of our organizations, having a long life. So that was how we started. Now, didn't really know how we would get there, because everything is kind of a year to year, but we've
Yes.
managed. We've managed to put a good foundation in place for the future. So we can go on for the next 20 to 50 years as long as the community supports and as long as
Yes, yes,
people
yes.
continue to come out. Yes.
So I know you've probably seen the film industry change. I remember back when you had to have a Canon XL2 and $500,000, $1 million budget, and now you can shoot a film on your iPhone with a little bit of AI included. So does that change who you engage to come to the film festival? Has your audience changed? What is film work today look like as opposed to 15 years ago?
Well, it really hasn't changed fundamentally. It's about storytelling, right? And
Okay,
it's about how you exhibit that story. And sometimes the mediums change and the
okay,
technology changes, but you still need to tell the story. So from our perspective, that's really what we're interested in. Of course, we have to embrace technology. Now, you did make me think about from the beginning days. So in the beginning days, I was the co-founder, the programmer, the marketer, the reviewer, the selector, the programmer. I was all the things. I
okay.
remember people used to drop their movies off on, was it DVDs or CDs,
Probably.
whatever the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the
right.
day, that's how. I'm like, okay, so now look where. So now everything's digital. So yeah, that part has changed. But what hasn't changed is the story. Like we need good stories. Because the thing I love about the film festival, the art form, like any art form, when you watch it, when you see it, when you experience it, it evokes an emotion, something in your soul that that piece of art touches. And we don't have to say or get to say what that is. Now we know what the intention is. If there's a documentary or there's a comedy, or even a horror movie, we know you're going to get some kind of response to that. And that's why it's careful what you feed yourself, right? Because
Right.
these stories become part of your soul. So
Yes,
for me,
yes.
that's the art part that I love that hasn't changed no matter what the technology is. Like now we actually have an AI exhibit that's going to be going on the square. So, I know you want to talk about what's actually happening during the festival a little further down, but it just
We
made me
do.
think about that. It's like the technology could be changing, the delivery could be changing, but the storytelling just gets better.
No, no, no. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the 17th because we kind of covered opening night, which I will be there
Yes.
for all of it. And what else do you have in store going through the rest of the week?
Well, we've got some exciting things happening. So, after we leave Karamu on the 17th, we arrive on Shaker Square for 4 days of film
Okay.
programming. We're also adding a big tent on the South Lawn celebrating 15. And we have a new collaboration with Sankofa Arts, and they're bringing back their Black Art Expo, which hasn't
Okay.
been around for a number of years. So they're going to have artists displaying art under the tent. And we also have a stage and a screen. So there's plans for, community activations. We have a AI exhibit, as I mentioned, that will screen
Okay.
Friday night. Saturday, we're planning some type of movie on the lawn. And then in between there'll be some community programming and conversations. But it's really the intention this year is to bring more of the community into the space. Like everybody isn't running to watch films that aren't blockbusters, but we want to get them engaged in what the festival offers overall. And then we'll have the program books, we'll have the schedule up, because a lot of times when people discover us, they're like, well, what's playing next? And what can I see? So we have that. And then we go to Warrensville Heights Senior Center, because this year we added a senior cinema experience, is what we're calling
Okay.
it. We're taking the movies to the community. So they have a wonderful community center with lots of activity and engagement. So we have 3 days of films, three, and you 1, 2, 3, 3 days of films program there. And then after that is closing night. So it sounds like short. It's 9 days, which is a good run. So
Yeah.
if people aren't careful, they'll miss it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna put the link to the GCUF URL, the website, in the bio of the podcast. So, guys, if you want to attend, if you want to get more information, if you want to buy tickets, we will give you the link to the website, so then you can do that. And GCUF even has merch, right?
Yeah.
Right, Donna? Talk to me
Yeah.
about the merch, girl.
Yes. We people love our merchandise and we try
I
to be
know that's why I
innovative.
said it. I still got my culture hat, right?
Yes, back in the day, I almost went to school to be a designer.
Okay.
One of my other hobbies was I used to always design and sew clothes. So you get a little bit of me in the creativity part, like, okay, we need the following things. So we've got some new merchandise planned. We're bringing back our favorite Celebrating Black hoodie, because that
Okay.
was year 10. So we thought it's appropriate to bring that back for 15, but the
Yeah.
design to be a little new version of it.
Okay.
So that's exciting. Yeah, we have hoodies,
Just to let you know,
joggers.
I take a double XL. Just put one to the
Okay.
side for me. Okay.
We
All right.
always
I just
we always have a few of those hanging
yeah,
around. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. So James Pickens. Um, I know the night. Does it start with the fireside chat, or does it start with the film itself?
Starts with the reception, and then I believe how we have it programmed is after there's a little, program, and then we'll bring him to the stage and they'll have a little chat. We'll show the film and then come back to the Q&A about the film, because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has a
I
long,
love
rich
that.
history. Yes.
Yeah, I love that aspect of how you guys kind of run a show, because it gives us a chance to see the film and then get insight into the why. And James Pickens is there, who's been on Grey's Anatomy for over 22 years. I mean, just an incredible run. I think Law and Order is the only other longest running program on
Oh,
TV. I think Law and Order, then Grey's Anatomy. That's the order.
and another one of my favorites. But
Yes.
the interesting thing is you helped with that, when you worked on the opening night with me a year or
Yes.
so ago, when you really helped with that when we framed the first that we had that short film, and it's like, why don't we? So that was a good sort of precedent for the future, because sometimes it's hard to find that, blockbuster opening film with a celebrity, and you want to give people a reason to come out. So and plus format, people don't want to really sit for too long, right?
Correct.
Unless the movie's
Yes.
really good.
Unless it's good. Unless it's good. But the thing about GCUF opening night is you get a chance to kind of bob and weave through the crowd of people, and you get a chance to connect, and it's a celebration, right? So I know we're there to
Yes,
watch a film, but I like being out there and experiencing the food and the company of other good people. And then Kirimu is such a great environment. And
yes,
you guys are always lucky to have an amazing night. It's warm, no rain. Um,
yes.
And
Yes, and
so,
it's good because even in September, you still get
yeah.
good weather. And I appreciate you saying that because it's like when we went, we've been a lot of different places for opening night
Mhm.
over 15 years. The last two before this one, we were at Caramo, and it was almost like we were coming home,
Yes.
right? I think the
Yeah.
energy of, in addition to the, fantastic program we put on and the good film, I think just coming to Caramo just gave it that
Yeah.
extra special feeling.
Yeah. The crazy thing is when we were doing it on the West Side, I'm not saying it didn't feel at home, but just being over there, the parking was crazy. And it just didn't feel like Karamu does. So you did a fantastic
No.
job moving it to Karamu. I commend you for that because it's gotten better and better and better. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm so proud of you and excited for you and what you've done for Cleveland, for the community, for Black filmmakers.
Maybe clear
Um,
up on the
yeah, yeah. No, seriously, Donna, because
'cause it's
I
tough.
see
It's
you.
it's a tough go
I
around
see,
here.
I'll be on the calls with you and you wearing 5 different hats and you're trying to figure everything out and you do it with a smile, Donna. You do it with a smile. Um,
Uh,
yes, yes. I'm so honored to know you. So I got to go a little bit into your background. Are you from Cleveland?
yes.
Where did you go to
Raised
school?
in Cleveland, born in San Diego, went to Collinwood High. Who remembers past that, right?
Okay.
And then I journeyed to Cincinnati, Ohio for college, and then I was compelled to come back home. I had a
Okay.
lot of opportunities to go elsewhere, and even through my career and working for corporate America, opportunities came up to move, but it just never felt right. Even though
Yeah.
sometimes I looked around, I was like, wait a minute, why am I still here?
Right.
But
Right.
I like to be where I'm needed, and I felt Cleveland, especially Black Cleveland, I was needed, and particularly to do, the networking things that I did, which connected me to a lot of people, and then ultimately now to, GCUFF.
Okay.
So a lot of the connections that were made along the way were now still important connections to the festival.
I love the stuff that you're adding. I love the diversity of the locations. It sounds like you and your board have put a lot of thought into the decisions you're making. Talk to me about the future. GCUF 16, 17, 18. Is it too early to kind of get into what else?
It's never too early to think about the future. There's, like you said, there's a lot of things changing in the industry. There's a lot of things changing in Cleveland. We just want to be primed to and flexible to be able to take advantage of those changes. And I think that's the nice thing about being small. The other things we're looking for is growing our support so that we can grow our staff and infrastructure because it's just very important for the future that we have the next person lined up to do GCUF. So right now it's just me and contractors that, execute it and get it done. But we really need, the creative programmers, the, writers, the graphic, we have a good team of supporters right now, but for the future, it's going to look a little differently. But what the public sees should just be the same, or when they show up, here's even more
Right.
flawless
Yeah, 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 yeah.
experience.
Yeah. And here's the thing, because I want to piggyback off of what you said, because when you talk about growth, the people who are watching us and listening to us in Toledo, Detroit, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, down to Columbus, you guys don't have an African American film festival, and Cleveland is a short ride away. So if you're looking for something fun to do for a couple of days in September, this is the place to do it because you're going to come, great food, great company, get a chance to meet James Pickens, see him in person. I know Peter Lawson Jones he's also an actor. He's been in a couple amazing films. We've premiered some of his films, especially at Cedar Lee Theater, the one he just recently had. And so you're in good company. And then I know that there are other filmmakers who are coming in and kind of you're showcasing films from around the country. So it's a huge
Yeah,
night,
we
a
have
huge
over
weekend.
70 films.
Really?
Yes. So
So over
about,
the nine
most of
days,
them are
70
short. So there's,
films.
yeah, 70 plus.
Okay.
Because we're adding a couple, ones that are on the Soul Patrol and the Lorraine. I just got rights to share those because there's some important documentaries that we need to make sure people see.
Okay.
So yeah,
Now,
I'm glad So say, I'm
So
glad
I
you brought
want
up
to.
that regional aspect too, because
Yes,
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 we want everybody
yes.
to come from everywhere.
Yeah, y'all come on to Cleveland. We got hotels, we got food, we got the lake. It
Hmm.
still will be warm. You won't get snowed on. So come on.
Right.
Um, yeah, I want to kind of segue for a second because I know podcasting, short films, short form video, long form video, or social media, I should say, is becoming more and more relevant. Do you have any categories to address podcasting or short form social media, anything like that?
No, not yet. I think that it makes itself way for the future. I'm glad you brought that up. And part of the challenge for us is again capacity, right? Because
Okay,
everything you expand to requires more work and more
right,
organization. So you
right.
just reminded me, we expanded in year 2 and year 7, and both of those years were extremely painful for me. But I know the importance that we did have a podcast competition, I think a couple years ago. We wanted to bring
Okay.
it back, but it was another segment that was pretty expensive for us to deliver. So yes, you're right. And that's really the plan for the future, is to be able to make sure we keep up with all the new areas where people are telling stories.
So I know it's coming up soon. Is it too late if a sponsor is watching this to get involved?
Absolutely not. No, it is absolutely. We still have plenty of time. Actually, we just have some new sponsorship opportunities with our big tent activation outside, and we have the senior cinema experience. So those are the things now we're looking for sponsorship for. We're always looking for a title sponsor. We're not quite there yet, but and then even this year, with the whole current regime of the union, sponsorships I think are a little bit more challenging, a little bit more slower. But I said at the end of the day, our job is just to go forward and press play. Come on, here's some films.
Yes,
It is
yes.
going to be either bigger or smaller, but we're gonna, our commitment is to keep it going.
Yeah, and I love the stick to itness that you have there. And I think because you have the audience, just like Codem, when we have potential sponsors of our events or advertisers, we tell them we have your audience. If you're trying to reach degreed African Americans, this is the place to do it. And I know GCUF, you bring in the right crowd because typically movie watchers and people who like things with culture tend to be a little bit more educated. They're conscious of what they're doing and what they want to consume, and then they want to do it in a fun, safe environment. And so GCUF just kind of represents that because I've
Yes.
been in enough GCUFs to know that it's an incredible night. Um, okay, so sponsorships are still there. Tickets can be purchased either singularly or all at once.
Yes.
You have merchandise. Um, you got the whole gamut, and then you have Hollywood coming to Cleveland. Um,
Yes, absolutely. So we tell
yeah,
people to dress up and show up, right? So,
yes,
and I saw on Instagram somebody was doing a party where dig in your closet or something and wear something that you were saving for a special occasion or that you have nowhere to wear. That's what we say for GCUF. Just show up and dress up. Yes, it's a good
that is
time.
that is awesome. I know your board is pretty extensive and diverse as well. And how much do they help you with everything that you have going on?
Well, that's a evolving situation for most nonprofits is the board work, but we have a new board chair over the last year and really working to engage and make sure everybody's active. So the first place that we invited them this year where they weren't invited before was the
Okay.
filmmakers breakfast, because that one of our board members came last year and the response was like, oh my god, this is so rich, because you get to talk to the board, you get to talk to the filmmakers and learn a lot of the behind the scenes. We also learned, like, why they made this film, what they expect to get out of it, and then most importantly, if they've been to Cleveland, who they know, and it helps us engage a little bit more with them. So yes, our board is strategically important for the life of the festival. We're looking for, after we get through this, we know we have to do some more work because fund development and the governance part are the most important parts. And our board grew up with, from what, friends and fans is how we termed it.
Choir board,
But
right?
yes, a growing organization, the board has to look a little bit, just a little bit different. But yeah, I've
So
got some great people supporting me.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I know your new executive director. She's fantastic. She calls me back when I call her. She's just fantastic. I
Yeah, she
want to
don't
get
play with
into
people.
I want to get into a little bit about, film submission. Now, I know the deadline is expired for 2026, right? But if somebody wanted to engage you, right? Somebody's seeing this for the first time, they're hearing about you for the first time. They're in Dayton, Ohio. They want to be a filmmaker. They just finished their first film. How do they get a hold of you? Are there requirements to do a submission to GCUFF?
Yeah, so all our information is listed on Film Freeway slash
Okay.
GCUFF. And so it has the rules and the regulations and all those things. But basically, if you're a filmmaker, and most of them are on Film Freeway, new first time filmmakers might not be as familiar, but our submission opened February 1.
Okay.
And that's when you get the biggest discount to submit. And then they close on May 31st. And the other
Okay.
thing is, if you've been in the festival before, we give you a code so you can, make it a little bit less of a barrier for you to enter. It's not very expensive. I think it's about $40 to $50 to submit a film. But if you have a film going to a lot of festivals, that can start to add up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, otherwise they can always reach out to films@gcuff.org and send us a
Okay.
note.
Okay.
And then we can give more specifics. So sometimes that's more helpful than trying to remember, oh, wait a minute, February
Does it
is the
have to be a
time.
black film? Can it be anybody?
It has to, in order to be in a competitive environment, it has to follow the rules. So we say a principal person has to be black. It could be a producer director and nobody in the cast is black. But
Okay.
that's enough to qualify because you're delivering the story. So
Yes.
yeah. But in the future, one of the things we had looked at was broadening our opportunity to other groups. But that just, the most important thing is we have to be a stable organization that can
Right.
do that and
Yeah.
not, compromise what we started. Because sometimes when you go left, it starts to take over the intent. So the space is intended to share our stories that don't get told or don't get shared.
Yes.
So when you start including other things, you just have to make sure that you still stay, focused on the mission.
Now, has GCUFF ever launched a career for somebody?
I know we've launched some relationships now.
So, what's been
I,
your favorite film that you've premiered at GCUFF? Something that you can remember. The person just, they came into town, they blew the game
I
up,
think
they had a
it was a Samad Davis film.
okay,
Is it Chance by Love or Love? I have to actually look at it. But
okay,
he came, the cast came. One of the comedians on there is now blown up, yes. Because that filmmaker, he had a big social media presence and the filmmaker gave him a space in his film. And I think
okay,
that helped continue to launch his comedic career.
gotcha.
So that stands out first. I think that was 2017
Okay,
or before. Yes.
that's outstanding. That's outstanding. Well, listen, I applaud your efforts, your entire board, your entire team. I know everybody on your team. They're dedicated. They're loyal to you. So that means a lot, Donna. And I'm just proud to be associated with GCUFF, and we will continue to support it any way we can. And so, with that, I will give you the rest of your day back. But again, for anybody who is looking to go this year, September 17th is opening night at Kiramu House. We again will put the link to the website in the bio. So if you want to attend, come dressed, get the right shirt, right? Gotta have the right shirt on, right? That
The
outfit you
right
have
outfit.
on.
The whole
Got it. Yeah,
outfit.
let's come on. We gotta look
Fit,
good. Put a little
right?
cologne on. Come ready to party a little bit,
Yes, and
and
socialize.
socialize and hang out a little bit and enjoy. Because I think uh, his film is 17 minutes.
Yes, it's
So
17
that's not
minutes.
long, right? That's not long.
No,
You can
so
come in, do your thing, see the film, talk to James
and
Pickens,
then get
talk to
something to
Peter Lawson
eat,
Jones, and get something to
get your
eat.
line dance on.
Yes, 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 yes. So I really, really look forward to it. And I will see you soon. And with that, say goodbye to Code M audience.
Code M, love you.
All right.